Hello, my wonderful viewers. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending on where you are on Earth and when you're going to see this video. I want to still talk to my Key Stage 2 learners. I want to teach us how to divide and multiply some certain kind of numbers without the use of a calculator. That division and multiplication that you can do just with your eyes is what I want to teach. So you can see how easy mathematics is. So if you are given, we want to multiply numbers by 10, 100, and 1000. It could be 10,000, 100,000, whatever you have. But let me work with 10, 100, and 1000. But the rule I will give to us will apply to 10,000, 100,000 as you go. If I want to multiply numbers like this, I have 763.04 times 100, 12.3 times 10. So as I was saying, 12.3, this is the decimal notation. So 12.3 times 10, 0. This is the decimal notation, 0.835. I didn't say 0.835. I said 0.835 times 100 and 763.04 times 100. Okay, so if you're given a problem like this and you are asked to multiply, there is a rule, which is the strategy. And the rule states that to multiply by a 10, 100, or 1000, etc., 10,000, 100,000, that's what I mean by etc., like it goes on and on. So to multiply by a 10, 100, or 1000, we need to move the decimal point forward. And we move the decimal point forward based on the number of zeros the multiplier has. So what are we going to do? We're going to move the decimal point. Because we are multiplying, we'll move the decimal point forward. How many steps forward we will move the decimal point is a function, or is determined by the number of zeros the multiplier has. That is it. So in this case, we are asked to multiply 763.04 by 100. We're multiplying this by 100, and there are two zeros here. So this is 763.04. Remember, this is a mixed number. 763.04 is a mixed number because there is a whole number and there is a decimal number. So we call numbers like this mixed numbers, all right, or mixed numerals. Okay, I'm multiplying by 100. I'm going to move this decimal point forward. Remember, they said when multiplying, move the decimal point forward. But what will determine the number of steps forward I would take is the number of zeros I have here. So this is 1, 2 zeros. So I'm going to use these 2 zeros to move the decimal point. 1, 2 steps forward, and this is so that this figure in word is what? 76,304. Whole number. Of course, whole numbers like this, there's always an invisible decimal point that we do not see, but is there. All right, so the answer to my question is 76,304 because I multiplied by 100. All right, here I'm using the same strategy, but this time around I'm multiplying 0.835. This one is a pure decimal number, 0.835 by 1000. So I'm going to do this. I need to use the number of zeros I have for the for the multiplier. So this is 1, 2, 3 zeros. Because there are 3 zeros here, I'll move 1, 2, 3 steps forward. And if I move 3 steps forward, this decimal point will move from here to here, so that this becomes 835. If you'd like, times 1, of course, which is 835, a whole number. The last but not the least is 12.3 times 10. I want to multiply. This is the mixed number. So to multiply this by 10, all I need to do is use this 0 I have here to move this decimal point a step forward. Moving a step forward will mean that I have 1, 2, 3 times 1. Because if I cross the 0, I'll be left with just 1. And whatever I multiply by 1, of course, is the number itself, 123. So multiplication like this, where you're given a mixed number and you're asked to multiply by 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, you don't need a calculator. You can use your eyes to do it. All right, so let's try this last one. Say we have 53. The last one I want to solve, last but not the least, let me work with a whole number. Let's say we have 53 times 1,000. 53 is a whole number, and I want to multiply by at least. I want to work with a whole number now. So I want to work with 53 times 1,000. This is a whole number, my dear learners. And I'm going to multiply by, I want to multiply by 1,000. What do I need to do? This is already 53. But do not forget what I said when we started, that for whole numbers like this, there is always an invisible decimal point that you have after the unit. So there's an invisible decimal point here that we do not see, but it is there. So I'm going to use these zeros I have here to move this. And because I have 3 zeros here, I'll move the decimal point 3 steps forward. And because I don't have anything after the 3, for every step I move, I will use 0 as a placeholder. For every step I take, I will use 0 as a placeholder. I'm multiplying by 1,000, and the 1,000 has 3 zeros. So I will need to move 3 steps forward from here. That means I will need 3 zeros to serve as 3 placeholders. On that premise, you have 0 here, a 0 here, and another 0 here. So that 53 times 1,000 is 53,000. With your eyes, you can do it without the use of a calculator. Until I see you again, keep practicing. Like I said, if you have challenges, whenever you will see this video and you have issues related to this, drop it on the comment section. If I see it, I'll respond to you. Bye for now. Keep solving, keep learning.